screen. So please, you need to confirm in the chat box if you can see my screen. You need to confirm in the chat box if you can see my screen. Right now, we have about 3 participants. If you can see my screen, please let me see your comment in the chat box. That will be important before we proceed. Please try to chat it on the chat box that I can see the screen. Good. Thank you, Mr. Victor. Thank you, Mr. Bamidele. So we are going straight away. Now, assessment of learning is all about trying to know more about how to discover the abilities of the students, the learners we've been teaching so far. Having taught them, having taken our time in the class, in the theories and the practicals or some other demonstrations and field trip or even videos they've watched, it's important for us to know how much of the knowledge they've actually acquired and then the one they can adopt and adapt to their daily lives. So today, we'll be looking at 3 different major assessment tools for learning. Permit me to quickly use a board. If you miss any part of this presentation, it's not going to be a problem. It's being recorded. And by the grace of God, the recorded version of it will still be deposited back to this group. So you can forward it to any place you would like to keep them. Hope we are together. So we are going to look at 3. And you need to pay a lot of attention because it's about practical. It's about doing it ourselves now. So assessment of learning, let me just call it assessment tools. Assessment tools. Then let me add online assessment tools. There are many, but we are looking at 3 today, like I said. The first one we'll be looking at, maybe some of you know it before, is by Google. We call it Google Form, but Google Form can be transformed into what we call Google Quiz. How does that happen? We are going to learn that today. Then we will be looking at another one that we'll call Kahoot or Kahoot. Kahoot is another assessment tool we are looking at today. And finally, we'll be looking at quizzes. Some of you might have seen this before. You might not just know how it works. So many times when we, even during the course of our interviews, when we fill some forms, they usually give us some automated forms. And immediately you finish the form, they usually write form received or the record has been saved, some feedback forms. Everything is electronic. They can ask you for your email, ask you for your phone number, ask you for where you teach, and so on and so forth. Everything you will see them on the form. And then you click and click and click. Sometimes you may have to type some things, and then that is all. That is Google Form. But do we know that we can transform Google Form to Google Quiz? How does that happen? That's one of the things we are going to be looking at. First of all, initially, we only knew about Yahoo Mail. If you talk about Yahoo Mail now, so many people know it. It does a lot of things. Yahoo Mail, Yahoo search engine, and so on, for a very fast means of disseminating information. But recently, after Yahoo, there emerged another one which seems to give even better results, and that is Google. So now I'm in Google. This is how Google looks like. This is Google. Let me zoom it and make you see it very well. This is Google. Now, there are some aspects of this Google we usually do not pay attention to. Let's go to this corner. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom it so you can see it very well. This part that is just next to the name. This part is what I'm talking about now. Many times you don't pay attention to that. And there are so many applications of Google that are there too. Let's try to explore. Let's click on it. If you click on it, you are going to see some information like this. What can we see here? You can see Google account. Many of us are used to that. That's the Google Mail. Google search, you are used to it. But do we know about Google Business? Do you know about Google Business? Google Map, some of us also know that. YouTube, okay. But do we know, okay, Gmail, do we know about Google News? Some people know that. Google Meet. Google Meet is for chat, a conference call, and the rest. Do we know about Google Drive? Google Drive is an electronic form of information storage or virtual form of information storage. There are more. Do we know about Photo Translate? Do we know you can use the same Google Drive the same Google app to translate? Many of us do not know. So these are some of the applications that Google came with. And as educators, we are supposed to know virtually all of this, and especially how to use them. So Google Doc is just like the Microsoft Word. We use it to type. In fact, if you have a Microsoft document in Microsoft Word, you can use Google Doc to view and edit. Google Sheets, like spreadsheets, the same Excel that we know. Google Slide, PowerPoint that we know. Google have applications for all of them. And we are still moving on. See Google Classroom here. It's another one that is gaining recognition recently. So many of them. But where exactly are we going? We have gotten to where we are going. This is where we are coming. That is Google Form. That is our target for the first assessment tool. So we click on it and explore. When you click on Google Doc and Google Form, how does it appear? Trying to explore it now. Okay, it comes this way. If you look at this place very well, it's because I've logged into an account. Sorry, I'm using my Google account. That is why my name is showing there. So the first time you log into Google Form, it's going to ask you to sign in with your own account, your Google account. Since it's a Google app, you need to use your Google account to access it. So I signed in with my own Gmail, and that's why it appeared there. So how do we use Google Form, and how do we transform it into a quiz? That's the next thing. To start with, let's go straight to the settings. Please help me to view this place very well. This is setting. Please pay attention to that. That's settings. We'll go there first. When you go there, you need to check in this. You see, our intention is to do what? Make this a quiz. Normally, it comes naturally as a form, but we need to make it a quiz. How do we do that? We check on it. So I'm checking on it, and that is what it brought. There are so many other things underneath. For example, how do you want your scores to be? Because our intention now is to put in our questions, put in our answers. It doesn't matter if the number of students that we attempt the questions are up to 1,000, 100,000, or whatever number. We are marking once, and every student that attempts will see their scores immediately, if we choose to release it immediately. So if we choose to release it immediately, we go for the first option, which is to release grades immediately after each submission. So that means when you attempt the questions, immediately you click on submit, you get the feedback immediately. Maybe you score 70%, maybe you score 30%, or 70 over 100, 20 over 50, whichever one, you get your scores immediately. JAMB has used this method sometimes to release scores immediately. And I think they observed some issues, and that's why they went for the second option, which is to release it later after manual review. That is not to say that it's only Google Form that does this. I want to also let you know that Microsoft also have applications like this of the Google, and then they can achieve similar results. But this is easier for us to deal with. I'm still under settings for Google Form. Don't forget, I've changed it to a quiz now. So anything I do from now on becomes a quiz. So the next thing is respondent settings. Missed questions. Do you want respondent to see the questions they answer incorrectly? For now, I've clicked yes. So that is how they learn. When they attempt question and they see, oh, they are wrong here, and then they can adjust on that. That is learning. Learning is taking place. Then the second one, do you want them to see the ones they got correctly? Yes, I also click. Then point value. Every question should come with points. And if you look at this side very well, you will see that there is a mark of 5. You can adjust it. You can change it here. You can change it here. If you want it to be 3 for each question, if you want it to be 5, if you want it to be 10, if you want it to be 20, if you even want to vary the points for every question so that some will be maybe 2, some will be 5, some will be 10, is your choice. You can interact with it. And then we're moving on, this time around, to responses. How do you want to manage responses? I'm going to click on this scroll down, this drop button, this one, to see the options there. So how do you do that? Do you want it to collect email? I would advise you always use collect email, because sometimes you may need to delay delivery of some of the questions and send it later to the email. Then do you want to send responders a copy of their response? It's your choice. If you want them to have it, you change this to always or when requested, or you can leave it as off. And then, do you want to allow editing after each response? You can check it if you like. You can return it if you don't want. You want to limit response to 1? It's your choice. You can interact with all of this. Then the presentation. How do you want it? Do you want it to show progress bar? Progress bar means as the person is approaching the completion of the question limit, the bar will be increasing. So it will get to the last end at the time the person must have done the final question. So you can choose to use it and not to. Shovel question order. I will strongly advise we use this method very well to shovel question order. The reason is sometimes when you have students sitting next to each other and they are all attempting this Google quiz, somebody can say, what is your answer to number 8? Then the person can say A, or the first, the second one, the third, they can whisper answers. But when you shovel the questions and possibly the answers too, the next person the student sitting next to another they won't even be able to communicate, because his own option A might be my own option C. So there will be issues there. So I will always advise you check this in. Then I would advise that when we are trying to write each of the questions, we should not number them. Imagine if you number a question as number 10, and by the time it auto shovel itself, it later becomes question number 2. How do you change the question to 2 now, since you have already labeled it from the beginning that that's question number 10? So I would advise you to leave the questions like that. Don't give it number. Don't give it number at all. So going forward, what response do you want the mail to give at the end of the response? When they submit, what do you want it to say? This is the default response. Your response has been recorded, but you can edit it and put your own. You can say thanks for your effort. You can say thanks for your effort, and then don't forget to click on save. Click on save, and then it replaces the previous one that was there. So I hope you can see now it's now showing a confirmation message as thanks for your effort. Okay, let me check the progress bar and show you the answer, because we are going to use it very soon. Then do you want your respondents, the people that are attempting the questions now, to view summary of their result? If you want them to view it, to check it. If you don't want it, you leave it. Then other restrictions are there. I believe you can interact with other ones and get it, done at your pace. Do you want to disable auto save for all respondents? I don't think you should disable that. So it should be saving automatically as the progress is going on. So with this, I want to assume that we've exploited sessions. You can go over it and then still explore more. So the next thing is, how do we put in the questions and then the answers? Let me tell you something here. You save, you don't save. anything you adjust or edit here is automatically saved. Before we move forward, I want us to be sure that we are hearing each other very well. And then I also want to confirm if the screen is clear and we can view it from our ends. Please, if you can view the screen, can you just maybe say, I can? You can say it or chat it, whichever way, just to have a feedback before I move on. Okay, let me check the chat box. Okay.
I can't.
Right. Thank you so much. Did I hear I can't? I think it's I can. All right. So I'm moving on forward now, and back to our discussion. We've exploited settings. For those that are just joining, I said the other time, a sample of this same seminar will be dropped in the group, so we can access it anytime we want. So let's go to the question. How do we put in the questions and the answers? That's where we are going now. So we'll be clicking on the question. This is where I'm coming now. So let's explore it. Okay, I'm there. The first thing is any question or subject you want to form a quiz on should have a title. I'm going to make it so small. It may not be something so serious because I want us to manage our time well, and I also want us to attempt some of this. So, for example, let me just call the title online. Okay, online assessment, online assessment tools. Let me call the title online assessment tools. I typed it at the upper bar there. But let me tell you that the moment I click away from there, the same title will be repeated here. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I click away. If you will need to write a description there, you can put it. That's form description. For example, I may just like to write May 29, 2022. That's the description I decide to put. Like I said, it's important you make your form automatically receive email. So that is why the email there is compulsory, is asterisk in red. When you see red asterisk, it means it's compulsory. That is exactly what you should expect for every question, except you choose to ignore some and make them not to be compulsory. But I believe quiz questions should all be attempted. For that reason, it should be compulsory. So let's try to form some questions. Again, I want to just go for some simple questions. I have a template you are going to run for the class test. Now, let's say how many days make 1 week? This is a very simple question. This type of question is multiple choice, so I can leave it as multiple choice, but you can still go for different other types of question formats. Multiple choice is the one on top here. You can click on that drop down button and check for other options. Let's do that and see. These are other options that are present. Short answer, where you want a respondent to type in some things. If it's a bit lengthy, then it's a paragraph. This is what we are using right now, is highlighted. Then you can try to generate checkbox. Maybe you want them to click many things. For instance, maybe you want to know how many assessment tools your respondents are familiar with, and then you may list maybe 10. You want them to check the ones they know. You can use checkbox. That can be used in form and also in the quiz. So drop down. When they click on it, it also brings some lists to be picked from. And then you can even go to linear scale and explore more, as you want. But for now, we are looking at the multiple choice. In multiple choice, you can have at least 2 options. So if you click on option number 1 here, you are privileged to edit it. So let's do that. How many days make 1 week? I'm going to have some answers there. Okay, let me say 4. Oh, I have to click on the add option to get here, please. So the next one, let me say 7. Let me click away. Oh, okay. Okay, that's the first option. So to click on the next option, please, I want to just call your attention to something. You need to click on add option because you have more than one option. So that's what I want to do now. I click on add option. Okay, I can leave it as 8. Then I click on add option again. I can have maybe 10. Okay, if I like, I can make it up to 5 options and maybe 6. So these are the options I've added for that question. Don't forget, the question is up there. How many days make 1 week? Oh, I didn't put comma, question mark. Since this question is to be said just once, but it can be used severally and on many students, it's good to take our time to get it done very well. Now, you may also want to put a picture on the questions you set. Let me call your attention to something. This option has an attachment for picture. That is the symbol you can see there. If I want a symbol, or sorry, if I want to bring in a picture to describe that option better, I click on that. Let's say I click on the next one, the next option. I also want to bring in a picture. You can see the logo is still there. It's still there for the second one. So if you need pictures to support your answers, or maybe the options are even in form of pictures, if it's pictorial, you can then make use of that. And sometimes even in the question, you may need some pictures. So this symbol you are seeing here is for the pictures that are pertaining the question. Let's try to explore it and see how it goes. Let me try to bring up something, a picture that may rhyme with days of the week. Let me just try to click on it. Okay, I've done that. And now I have options. Are you uploading from your device? If you have stored somewhere, which I will recommend you always do, have your picture saved somewhere. So you just be bringing them and be uploading. Or you want to snap directly, or you want to use URL. Maybe you've copied a link from somewhere, you want to share it, or you want to click on the photo. All these options are there. So let me try to browse from my file and just get something. Not necessarily the matching one. I just need to bring in something. Let me just bring in this picture. I want to use it to emphasize on what I've said. Don't forget, it has to be a picture relating to the question. I can only try to connect something here. Days of the week is expected to be in number. And in the picture I uploaded, there are also numbers. So I can just use that as a way to, and sometimes if you have time, you can, get something like calendar and use. That is also very lovely for a question like this. So, all right, you can see, because of the way this electronic device have been programmed, they are even suggesting answers, but you will need to put in your own answer. All right, that's question 1. If you need to go on to the next question, you come here. That is a plus. The plus sign means you are adding extra questions. And that's what we are doing now. So if you click on it, it will generate, it will take you to another question link page. So let me type another question. Let me see how many sides has a pentagon. How many sides has a pentagon? Put question mark again. I'm just repeating the same process. I'm not doing anything different from what I've explained. Okay, let's say this is 6. Let's say this is 8. Let's say this is 3. And let's say the last one is 5. Okay, those are the options. You can go on and on and on and on and do and generate the number of questions you want. I will advise that if you are doing it for the sake of we can start with fewer numbers and then we can proceed to more and more and more. I will also advise that your questions might have been somewhere, maybe in Microsoft Word or in your chat, maybe your WhatsApp chat. You can have it saved somewhere like I did when I was trying to prepare some questions there. You just be copying from there and be pasting to make your work so easy. If you need diagrams relating to any of the questions, you would have saved them, maybe Google them, save them on your device. You'll be picking from there, be uploading them, and it makes your work so easy. So now, let's assume I'm done with the questions. What's next? The next thing is, how do I supply the right answer? So this is what you do. You go to you click on this. You click on each of the, you click on the question itself. This is the question. When you click on it, you see all of this. You see all these symbols that are down here, but your interest is here. That is where you go to supply the correct answer. And that is why you see that logo marked. Marked means you are trying to input the correct answer. Of course, we know correct answers need to be marked. So that is why you see that logo there. So that's where we are clicking. And when you do, it gives you opportunity of doing two things at a time. Aside the privilege to choose your correct answer, which is there, it also gives you it also gives you the privilege to adjust your points. If you want to change the point, maybe you don't want it to be 5, you want it to be something else, you are privileged to do that. And then now is the time to pick your answer. Which one is correct? If it is 7, you just go to the box just in front of 7 and click on it, and it turns to green, meaning that is your correct answer, the one you choose to be the correct answer. If you will need to write feedback to that answer, excuse me, so that when your learners see the answers, they may also see some things to explain why it is an answer. Then you can do this. You can click on and add answers feedback. So let's try to do that. For instance, if I click on it, it will tell me if it is incorrect, what do you expect the feedback to be? Do you want to say try again? Do you want to say try again? You can say that for incorrect answers. What if the answer is correct? What would you like it to say? Would you like to say bravo and maybe with exclamation mark? If you would like to do that, remember I've input try again for incorrect answer, and I click on correct answer. I input bravo because I don't want to, there's no need for any serious explanation. If you need to write extensive explanation, you can do that here. Maybe you want to explain why that particular option is correct. Here you can do that. And then you click on save. When you click on save, it automatically saves the response. That means the next time a student attempts this question, they will also be able to see the answer and the feedback you've given. How many sides has a pen? Okay, let me click on the next question now. I'm doing the same thing, okay? How many sides has a pentagon? You know all of these are not your answers. You know the answer is 5, right? So again, you click on that mark sign. For the benefit of those that are joining us, you click on this. Okay. Sorry. You click on, I wanted to say this. You click on the checkbox in front of the 5. So let's do that now. That's what I want to do now. Okay. I click on that first, and then I click on it. So that made it to be my answer. I may not choose to add feedback. So if I'm not adding feedback, I click on done. So when you click on done, your answers have been saved. Now, you are almost set to go. Everything about the question, the answers are done. Okay, sorry. Let me finish this one too. Done. If you don't click on done, it will still think you are editing. But if you click on done, it has okay, you've ended your editing. The answers is done. So the next thing is to go and do some other settings. If you want to just maybe put some, paparazzi there. For example, let me try to do something. Let me try to add colors to my quiz. I can go to that symbol to add my colors, for example, and themes. I'm clicking on it. Do I want to put an image for the theme? If you have an image you want to bring in, fine. But there are some prescribed images that are there. If it's about work and school, which you are dealing with right now, these are the options there. If your form is about illustrations, it will also bring some options for you. Nevertheless, you can customize your own. You can go and bring your own and use. Okay, let's assume I'm using this. I click on one. Immediately I click on it. The next thing is to go to insert. I hope you can see insert here. I click on this, and then that's where I'm going next to insert. So when I click on insert, it will be uploaded, and it will also give me a symbol here, a kind of reminder here that it has been uploaded. Now, the theme color. You can choose any of the theme colors you like, depending on colors of your choice. If you need more, you can click on the plus, you get more. Let's assume we are going for green. Let's assume we are going for color green. The sound is coming from somewhere. Please, if the sound is from you, can you try to mute yourself? Can you mute your mic, please? All right, thank you. So the color of the theme, I choose it to be green. You can also select background colors from what you have here. Well, we may leave it like that. You also have the privilege of changing your font. So for the person there, should please help us to switch to mute. Okay, that's Mr. Mohammed. Let me change from here. Okay, I think we are good to go now. We can hear ourselves very well now. Permission, let me start learning communication. All right, back to what we were discussing. I've chosen image, I've chosen background, and then I said we have the privilege of changing the font style. Yes, the option is there. Click on the font style. There are few ones that are there. For example, you may choose playful. It will change how other ones look like. Now, everything done so far is not yet it's not yet applied until you click on this. So you have to click on apply to make it happen. So that's what I want to do now. I'm going to click on apply. Immediately you click on it, everything has been inputted. Look at the title, the theme we just put now is there. The title color is there. The background color is there. Now that you are done with the quiz, because you are set now, the next thing is, how do you share it? How do you share it? This is where you go. We need to get familiar to symbols and some images or icons that says a lot about itself in the 21st century. For some of us that have been using Telegram, we are familiar with this symbol. That's the logo of Telegram, though not standing in the same position. The symbol is seriously just meant for sending messages. So anywhere we see it, we know it's for sending messages. So that's exactly where you click if you need to send this to somebody. So let's click on it. You click on it and you are here. Are you sending it by mail? If you are sending it by mail, you click the email of the person inside the box there, where I just click now. You have opportunity to edit and put in the email and the email you want to send it to. If you will like to write a message, you can edit this message. This is a default message that they've written here. Sorry. This is a default message. So you can edit it if you like to suit your purpose. So it's permitted. So if it is to be sent by mail, what if you are not sending it by mail? What if I want to send it to you right now as on Telegram to attempt it right now? What if I want to send it to a group I created on WhatsApp? What if I'm teaching on Microsoft Teams and I want to send it to them there, or any other, for online tools? So in that case, our advice will come here. This is a link. This is a link to be shared. It's a link, and then you can share it. You can share it to any of those platforms you just mentioned. So once you click on it, it gives you a link. I did that now. Here's the link to copy and share. If I don't want to go for this long and almost endless link, I can check this. I can check on this box and it will give me a short form. Let me try to do that now. Let me try to do that. Okay, I check on it and it will automatically give me a shorter one. This one is easier for me. It won't be an endless combinations of letters, character, and so on. So the next thing is to click on copy. So when you copy, you go to your destination and paste it. I'm going to paste it right now on our chat box. Though not to be attempted for now, there is another one to be attempted. So let me copy it and send it to the chat box straight away for our view. So that is it. You wait a bit for the document to be well assessed, and if you are done, then you send it. So it appears like this. We can go to our chat box. Let's go to the chat box and see how it appears. Let's go to the chat box and see how it appears. Like I said, not to be attempted now. Now, I use this same method to create some other quizzes. And that's what I want to share with you now. And that is the one you are going to attempt first. That is the one you are going to attempt first. Come in, please. Give me a little time to send it to you. Or rather, let me go back to the page and share it directly from there so that you remember how we've done it. So I can go back. Now, if you want to access some of these previous ones you have done, the past ones you've done, how do you get it? Just go to Google, because it saves automatically in your Google Drive. Just go to Google and go back to the list of the applications we talked about. You click on it, you see all these ones that will pop up. Where are you going? You are going to your drive. So if you locate your drive, the next thing to do is to click on it, click on the drive, and it will take you. You can, if you have application of Drive, use it to open it. And then if you don't have, you can use Chrome. Yes, it will do that. Like in my case, I have the application for it, and that is the first one there, the Drive. If I click on it, and then I click on just once, I don't want it to be using it all the time. If I want it all the time, I click on always, then it comes. This is it. These are my information I have already on my drive. So I just need to search it by the name. I used to save it now, and then we go and bring it up from there. If someone is running out of time, one can search. Sorry, I have some document there that's taking some time. Okay. Okay. The one we just did now, I hope you agree with me that this is it here. This is it. The one we just did now. So if I want to retrieve it, I'll click on it right here and share, in case I've closed the previous page and so on. Now, there was one I designed before now. Okay. Well, this is how to access it. If I do not get it here, I'll get it from another source, please, to save our time. Let me get it from another source. But that's how to get it. So if you click on it from here, it takes you back to where it is. But let me get the one I've done before. I've shared it somewhere. I just want to bring it back. So, okay, this is it. Okay, I saved it with Google Quiz May 29 seminar. Okay, so you copy it from there. You can copy everything. You can copy the link, whichever one. Just copy, and then I'm going to paste. Immediately I paste on the chat box. Please, let's start to attempt it. Let's start to attempt it immediately. Let's attempt it. It's just 10 questions, and then I believe it will help us to know exactly how it looks like. Let's start to attempt it for the next maybe 5 minutes. You can unmute yourself if you need to ask questions. Just click on it, and then it will open, and then you start attempting it. then you see how it happens and you see what happens at the end of the day when you submit. I just want you to have a very clear picture of how it looks like so that we'll not be talking of abstract here, talking about what we can do ourselves. So if you have any challenge, please chat it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and say it, please. You're permitted. I'm here. Okay, Mr. Mohammed, you missed the beginning. I can assure you that you've missed nothing because everything we've done from the beginning of the class is recorded and we are going to send it back to this same Telegram immediately after the seminar. It's going to be raw. We are not going to edit it. We are sending it back immediately so you can have access to them. Thank you. The same thing goes to anybody that misses the class or just joining. Thank you. I'm still here, please. I'm waiting for a few more people to attend so we can discuss how it goes. Wow, someone have cleared everything. Someone have Jeremy smart. You are actually very, very smart. That's interesting. On 50-50, that's 100%. Very lovely. Well done, well done, well done, well done. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Very impressed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm waiting for a few more people. All right. I think we have to continue from here. For those that are yet to finish, let's give them time to complete the class. Let's give them, you can do that later. I will not close the form for now. Let's move on because other things are waiting for us to see at 10. Emmanuel, we can hear some noise coming from your end. Please help us to watch it. Thank you so much. So now, I hope you can all see my screen. Can you all see my screen, please? Can you see my screen? Mr. Emmanuel, please, can you see my screen, sir? Okay. If you can see my screen, please chat it on in the chat box. Let me be sure before I proceed, please. Please chat it in the chat box. Let me just be sure. Okay. Okay. Mr. Mohammed, thank you. Thank you so much. So I think you can move on now if that is, let me see. Let me hear one more response before I proceed. Correct, Mr. Bamdele Jacob. Thank you. So let me move on. Now I'm back to my and Drive. Now I've easily found where it was saved. I missed the name, the title I used to save it, and I've gotten it. Google Quiz May 29, that is it. So we are going to open it from there. And all of us will see what will happen with it when it's opened. So let's click on it and open it. That's what I'm doing straight away. Now it has opened. Now it's opening. The noise is still coming from there. Please let's watch it. So what will you observe? Look at this. These are the number of people that have responded so far. Five. Five people have submitted. The noise is coming from somewhere. Let me see. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Seems to be an obstruction. Okay. Sir Emmanuel, please help us to watch it. Sir Emmanuel Faith. Okay, thank you. So we are going to check the responses. Please watch along and see what is very important here now. We've not really gotten to the most interesting part of it. So let me click on the responses, and then I will see some summaries. Look at it. 5 people submitted, yes. Coming. The average score I have here is 41 over 50. Average. Some score more than that, some score less than that. The median is 40 over 50. I have the range of 35 to 50 points. These are some of the analytics that examiners of schools are looking for. If a teacher is very good at things like this, oh my God, very soon the teacher will soon be in the position of exam officer in the school, and of course more promotions. So this will help us to assess our students. Not done yet. And then let's move on. Total points distributed. Okay, we can still look at that. Now, it gave us opportunity to assess frequently missed questions, and it has identified 2 of them. See, out of the five respondents, 2 of them are missing some particular questions, and it has identified them. So you can click on it. Okay, sorry. You can click on it to discover which questions they are. These are the questions there. You can see that most people are green means correct. And then if you see other ones that are not green, is incorrect. Look at this question number, this May 29 question. This particular person did not get it right. Look at this person. Look at this last one. So it has identified those questions that are challenging, so to say. That will help you to know how to go back there. And this is if you are looking at the group response. You can still look at individual mistakenly close that. Individual responses. What has happened? Okay. Sorry, I have to reopen it. I mistakenly closed it. You can still look at individual responses, but to cut all the stories short, to cut down all the stories, these are individual responses. See it here. You can check it to know how individuals have performed. So if you click on it, it will also give you scores of individual. For example, this is the first person. If you click on this drop down, you see others that have attempted it too by their email. If you click on it, you see those that have attempted and submitted. Right now, if I refresh this page, maybe new people, new members in the group have submitted, it will update again to maybe 6 or 7 or 10, depending on the number. So this is individual responses. If I want to check for a particular person, I'm permitted. For now, this is for one of them. That's the great response. So these are some of the things she has done. You can see she's getting all of this right. She missed this. How many edges has a cuboid? She went for 6 when the correct answer is 12. Then she kept getting all the other ones. Look at here too. Hereditary materials are stored inside she missed it. She went for ribosome when the answer is chromosome. and so on and so forth. This is how it goes. I hope you remember how to get all these images. You can import them. But do you know that you don't need to waste your effort going through this and be explaining to school management that let me check my phone before you can even say what has happened? It's very easy. This is where you go. You come up here. That is ellipsis. You click on it, and then you have options to download the whole of the result, and then you can analyze it the way you like. It will come in form of a spreadsheet. You can compare about questions attempted, you can individual responses, group responses, and so on and so forth. Everything is detailed there. Let me do that. I click on it. Okay, sorry. Let me go to the question there. Okay. Responses. Okay. This is it here. This is it here. Not this one, please. Not the one up there. That one is about the form. Our target is about the responses. So this is it here. This is it. So let's click on it. We click on it, and then you can see this option here. You download the responses. If you want to print it, you are permitted, but it will be good you edit before you print. So I would advise you download. I'm going to do that now. Also send it to the group. So I download. That's what I want to do now. I'm downloading now. Automatically it's downloaded. Okay, it wants me to open it. Okay, let me open it with Google. Okay, it's open up there. Let me try to open it. And then we can see some things together. All right, that is it. Let me send it first to the group. Okay, let me just. Okay, let me just open it. Convert to PDF. No, open document. Just open it. I'm not converting. So here it comes. You can take this to your laptop and zoom it and view it the way you like. You can expand, you can extend it. I want it to be broader here so that you can see clearly what is under each of them. You can do that. These are emails. You can extend it. You can open it wide. I've been clicking on this portion and dragging it to extend. That's what I've been doing. So like this. Okay. Like this. And so I can do, okay, you can do all of that at your own time. So now, these are the people that have responded and the time they responded. We have their emails here. That's the username. The score for each of them. You see, the first person scored 40 over 50, the second person 40, we have 35 over 50, 50, 50, and so on and so forth. These are the responses. You see, this broadsheet comparison now. Okay, these are the responses and the scores, the point they made. You can view it across all the 10 questions. Okay, all of this you can do. You can do all of this. So that is how it goes. This is how it goes. You can extract the worksheet, you can merge workbooks, you can take this to your computer and view it very well. Even send it to the maybe management to show that these are the scores received from what they've done. So I'm going to send this very quickly to us for our view. I'm going to send it to us. We would like to say the changes made. Okay, save. Even though it can be edited. Maybe there. Let me not bother about saving it. Let me just send it straight. We don't have all the time. Discard it. Anyone can adjust it as they like. So now the Telegram, I'm sending it just straight now. Okay, it's sent. So we find it in the chat box how it appears. What do we call that? We call it analytics of the performance. That can help you to know how far so far with what you are teaching, and it's a very good and important tool. We are done with this first segment of our class, the Google quiz. Can we entertain some questions maybe in the chat box or by unmuting your mic and talk before we proceed to the others? Though for those that are just coming in, these are the tools we are assessing today: the Google quiz, Kahoot, and Quizzes. we are accessing all of this today. And for now, we have only stopped at Google Quiz. So we still have Kahoot waiting, we still have quizzes waiting. But the two of them have to be considered side by side because they share so many things together. They are so much alike. So let's go to the chat box and type in some comments concerning the Google quiz we've done. And then let's also try to unmute our speaker and talk to ask more questions or more clarification on anything we have missed or that we think will benefit others. Some of you have been using it, and I believe you are very good at it. Some of you have known some tools before. I might only be reminding you of what you've known, but I can assure you the other ones we are yet to touch are much more excellent than this. Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed. I can see excellent presentation. Thank you so much. Just as you are, we are all excellent. Thank you so much, sir. Let's try to entertain a few more questions. Okay, I hope I did not mute the mic. I think we can unmute and talk. Can we? Okay. Please feel free to talk. Let me see. I did not mute you. Allowed to speak. Please feel free to talk. You are free to ask questions, please, on any aspect you would like to know. Oh, Mr. Mohammed. Okay. I've unmuted everybody on your own side now. You can unmute yourself. How do you unmute yourself? See what I'm doing right now? You click on this. When you click on it, you'll be automatically unmuted. It must change to green for you to be sure you have been unmuted. It's blue now. If you click on it and it turns to green, you're unmuted, then you can talk if you have questions. At least let's have one or two comments at least, please, before we proceed. Okay. Someone is typing. I'm waiting for at least one more comment before we proceed, please. Please, let's try to. It's very important we have feedback before we move on. If not, we might be building on faulty foundation. And even in the classroom, it's not encouraged to teach on when we are not sure if the learners are flowing along. I'm waiting for at least a chat or a voice call, any of the two. Oh, sorry, I just joined. I expected a summary of what we would have been done so that okay. Mr. Mugo, please. The summary will be done at the end of the second class, the second aspect, the second phase we are going into now for the other assessment of learning. And also be reminded that the screen video coverage will be sent to the group. So you have access to them. Do you understand? So right now, I'll quickly end this chat, send this video to the group so that we can start the recording of the second one afresh. I don't want the video to be too long because of those that may want to download. The volume may be too much for them. So please permit me to do that. Immediately I drop this chat, I will send that information, the video we just recorded, to the group, and then we come back to continue the second phase of the class immediately. So please wait to continue the class with me. Thank you so much.